Hello family, we're at Just That Honey Tea Company, a wonderful cafe and retail shop in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here with Auntie Simone Nofel, the founder and CEO of Hearty and Free. Hi Auntie Simone, how are you today?
I'm doing so well. How are you, Bailey?
I'm doing great. I just want to say thank you for coming to share with me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, I'm very excited. So the auntie concept is the dynamic between an aunt and her niece as they have a generational conversation over tea. The tea is meant to represent the bridge between the young and the old, and the young sitting at the feet of their elders and learning from them.
I love that. This is such a cool concept. I'm excited.
Would you like to pour some tea?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so today we are drinking rooibos chai, with some chai and red rooibos. It took me a while to learn how to pronounce that, so I am very proud of myself. Okay. Oh wow, such a beautiful color.
It is.
Such a beautiful amber. All right. And what sweetener are you doing? We have honey and sugar.
I'm gonna do honey.
Okay. So the honey is just that.
Want to press the sugar?
Yep. And I'm going to do sugar cubes as always.
Let's see. Let me bring this here. A little bit.
Yep. Just a little bit of sugar. Too much.
Whoa. Let's see. Stop the flow.
Right. I love tea so much.
I know, this is so
good.
perfect.
Okay.
It's a perfect day too for nice warm tea.
Let's see. Yeah, because it's kind of cold outside, so like some nice warm tea.
Start the morning.
Yes, so good. Tea is a great way to start the morning.
Isn't it? Yes. All right. It looks kind of hot. Let's see. All right.
All right. Let's try it.
Yes. Cheers.
Oh my God.
That was a perfect pick.
Wait, hold on. That is delicious.
It is. I love me some chai, and this is, I think, the first time I've had. Say it again for me.
Rooibos.
Rooibos chai. Okay.
Yes, this is so delicious.
Oh yeah.
It's so different from all of the other teas. It's like so unique.
It is. It has that like earthy tone, that earthy flavor, but also kind of
like sweet and balanced. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's just good.
I love earth flavors and earth smells.
Warm tea is always the best. Like iced is really good too, but warm tea, I think this would be really good with some milk too. Milk.
Yeah.
That was. I gotta take one more sip. Sorry. This is so good.
That's good. I would just drink it all, but I'm gonna savor it.
Yes, that's so good. Okay, so for my first question, what is health and wellness?
Oh, that's such a great question. And something that I like to say when it comes to this like over-encompassing broad concept is really just going back to our roots, right? Like going back to our original blueprint as humans. So how we come into the earth, kind of clean slate, to have that same wellness, and it really contributes to our health. I really do believe.
The way I like to think of it is your diet, both mentally and physically. So first, your mental, you know, what you read, what you listen to, what you watch, the things that your mind takes in.
Yeah.
And then your physical, how much exercise you get, if you're getting enough water, enough rest, exercise, things like that. So both doing good things for your body on the inside and the out, I think, is what diet and health and wellness is.
Yeah, definitely. And even on like a metaphysical level of like your soul and your spirit, like how are you nourishing your spirit? How are you nourishing your soul? I think that really contributes a lot to our health and wellness as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How can being outdoors play a part in learning?
Oh, so what I love to say is that the best environment for learning is outdoors, because there are so many therapeutic benefits to being outside, and then when you layer in learning, it really helps the learner absorb what they're learning. So basically, we could think of our brains as sponges, and we want to give our brains the best situation to be able to absorb. So, you know, as a sponge, if the sponge is dry, it's not going to really absorb much. It's not going to be flexible. So when we give it some nourishment, like water or being outside, like sunlight, it helps our brains. And so our nervous systems are the foundation of our health and wellness. And so when we're outside, our nervous systems become more regulated, which basically means that we're more open to receive the information that's all around us.
Yeah, I read your books, The Elements, Air, Fire, Water, Earth, Ether.
Yes.
So I think if you're outside, I think the learning part is already ingrained in it. Being outside, observing the elements in the real world, you know. Air could be the breeze going through your hair, watching the fire toast your marshmallows, splashing in a puddle, walking barefoot in the grass. Exploring the world through what is already present is a way to learn, because you can learn about those little things. You splash in the puddle and then you might trip on a branch, you know, so it teaches you about the little ups and downs of life in a really real and honest way.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because, you know, part of what you're talking about is resiliency, right? So when we're out in nature, there's more opportunities for risk, right? More opportunities for danger. And then when we overcome those things, we build resilience, we build confidence in ourselves. So that's amazing, yeah.
For me, music, such a big part of my life. There's always music playing in the house or in the car. I'm part of a choir. I'm learning how to play piano. I have a garage band. I make some songs. I'm always singing. Anywhere I can sing, in the shower, in the kitchen, and everywhere, in the car, everywhere. Like, I'm literally singing all the time. So what role has music played in your life, and what are some of your favorite songs?
That's a great question. And I think the biggest role that music has played in my life is giving me the ability to connect with something other than myself. So whether it's connecting with the artist and like maybe why they wrote that song, or just connecting with the emotions that come about when you're listening to certain types of music. And so earlier you were mentioning, like, you know, what we absorb, what we bring into our systems really matters. And I really believe that to be true for music as well. And so, you know, matching the frequency of the music is something really important to me. So if I'm wanting to have energy, then I can play something that's more upbeat. Or if I'm wanting to kind of relax, then I can play more mellow tone. So I think it's been a really big role for my emotional regulation and just connection in general. My favorite songs, there's this new song, well, it's not a new song for me, that I recently started listening to, and it's called Manifestations by Peach. And that's been one of my favorites. What about songs that you've created?
Songs that I've created, it doesn't have a title. It's just in GarageBand. It's My Song 8 is what it's called, but my parents love it. So I think I love it too. So that song.
What's the theme of it?
It's like club vibes, kind of, with like a little bit of hip hop and a little bit of R&B, just a hint, but a lot of club vibes.
Well, one day I would love it if you shared your songs with me.
Yes, of course, definitely. Food is something that it's universal, of course. Everyone loves food, but especially me. I love eating out. I love Asian food, Indian food. All food is good with me. But sometimes I find myself in a dilemma. Just a few days ago, my mom was making some food, but at that moment I was really hungry, so I needed to eat something in that moment. So I was kind of in this dilemma where I wanted to eat some cereal. But cereal, you know, it has grains and stuff like that, and it might not always be the best thing for your body. But I also had another choice because there was a lot of fruit in the fridge that we hadn't eaten. So I could have eaten the fruit, or I could have eaten the grains, cereal that wasn't really good for me, or I could have eaten the fruit that was. So I was kind of in a dilemma there. And I would love some advice, you know, how do you balance eating what you enjoy, in this case the cereal, with what might be best for you, for example, the fruit?
Oh, I love that question because I could talk about food all day too. I also love food, and I see the power of food. Like, I really believe that food is medicine, that what we put into our body really matters. And so I think the best advice that I can give for that is as long as you're eating the rainbow. So what I mean by that is eating all the colors in the rainbow every single day. So I have this visual that I use with my son that goes through all the colors, so he can check off the color when he's eaten that color for the day. And so if we have that like balanced view on what we're putting in, then it won't matter what our pleasures are, like what our desires are for what we're eating. So, if you're eating all the colors in fruits and vegetables, so like something red, that's a fruit or vegetable, orange, yellow, green, all the way through, then you know that you have that foundation, and then you can indulge. You can indulge with your sweets, you can indulge with your cereals. So that's kind of how I like to think of balance, is like, as long as we're getting, a lot of plant-based items, leafy green vegetables, then we can splurge a little bit too.
Yeah, I love it. I love that, getting the things you need and then having the things you enjoy. That's a great way to balance it, because it's not really depriving yourself of the things that you like. It's taking the time to know that, okay, I like these things. Yes, I can have these things, but first I'm going to do the things that I need to do and nourish myself in the ways that I need to in order to properly function and have optimal health.
Yeah. Because then your body also will be able to process the things that are not so good when you have that foundation laid down. So
yes, of course. And always important, water.
Yes.
You need water to live. My parents have to tell me that every other day.
Yes.
Because I love my juice, my teas. I love bubble tea. So I like all that stuff. It has lots of sugar, but definitely stuff like that. And also other factors like I was talking about earlier, rest and exercise and those things also play in giving you energy and stuff like that. So yeah.
Definitely. And with the hydration piece, when you're moving, you're more likely to consume more water. So I like to start my day with movement, whether it's yoga or just going for a nice walk with my family. And then I usually end up drinking more water on those days, just because it's like my body knows what it needs, and so I'm like craving the water, and so I get more hydrated.
Because something, I like sometimes go outside. I'm actually learning baseball and basketball. So I might go and it might be a day where oh no, I don't want to drink water, I just want juice and tea and stuff like that. I'll go to the basketball court or to the baseball field when I come home, or when I get in the car and there's a bottle of water. I chug that thing down all the way to the bottom. That thing is empty in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it really shows you that you do have the willpower to do things that you don't like. You just need to, once you have a certain attitude, it all changes,
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
The mindset is key.
Yes. I think, when you go to an art gallery or art museum or stuff like that, usually you just have to look at the art. You can't touch it, you can't interact with it, you can't explore it. I think it would be really cool if there was a way to interact more with art. And I think one of those ways is to make it. But if we want to go past art, what's the importance of having a sensory experience while exploring the world around you?
I love that question. And I think it really brings in the fact that we are beyond our senses, but also that they're so important to integrate to our lives. And so when we have these experiences like touch and smell and sound and taste, all of these aspects woven in together, it makes the human experience that much more pleasant. And then when we go beyond art, what we assume is art, then we can go beyond our expectations. And when we go into the unknown, it's like this mysterious place where anything can happen, infinite possibilities.
Yes.
And that's really how I've been stepping into my own creativity, is just knowing that when you're in that space of creation, when you're in flow, that there's an infinite list of possibilities and anything can happen.
Yes, I love what you said about the unknown. I actually have a little video when I'm reading my quotes in my book on my Instagram. I use this word, I forget what I was kind of explaining, but I said unknownness, and I'm not sure if that's a real word, but you brought that back to memory. And I love the unknown because there's so much you can do. Because when you break free of limitations, and when you break free of what the world thinks you should be doing, and you break free of that mold, you'll be flying like a little spark all around the world. Seriously.
Yeah, you start to pave your own way. You pave your own path, and it's true to you, and just stepping into your truth and not being afraid of not having the external validation from the world.
Walking the path less walked. I think it's kind of like a phrase, making your own way out of no way sometimes even.
Yeah.
So many different messages will be put into their brain, this is what you should do, and if you don't do this, then you're not doing it right. And it's just so much stuff that they're telling you to do. But you should learn first of all, how to conform into that in order to function in society. But after that, break free.
Yeah.
Come into your own, step into your own, and really become your own person.
Yes, I love that. And it's a message that is so special for me, raising my son who's 3 years old, and not wanting him to be in those boxes, and to know that he doesn't have to conform to certain things. And I think it's special for all children to really understand that, because like you said, once you're free, there's so many options for you, and that you can be innovative, you can try new things, and then new things will come to you. And I think it's just an amazing way to live life.
Yes, definitely. So I was reading a travel book, and there was an essay on like travel and souvenirs and things like that, and it said that for young people these days, Instagrammability is one of the most important factors in deciding where to travel. So things like being able to snap a picture and post it and get likes on Instagram. So I see that, and it kind of strikes a chord with me, because I'm like, well, it's almost like you're traveling for the world and not for yourself. Not to explore the world for yourself, but to say, hey, I was here in Paris, or I was here in New York, I went to the Eiffel Tower, all of these different things. It's almost like you're doing it for the world. Like, it's like, validate me.
Yeah.
But why not travel for yourself? And I think travel is one of the good selfish things that you can do for yourself. It feeds your soul. Like, I want to travel to all sorts of different places. One of my goals is to visit all 7 continents.
I love that. And what you said really about, it being experience for yourself, I think it reminds me of living in the present moment, right? So
yes.
If you're consumed with like taking pictures or videos, then you're not really integrating what's around you, and so you kind of get lost. And so we have this like family expectation or family value, really, and it is that like we experience what we want to experience, and then like the residual is photographed, or like we have the experience, and then maybe the last few minutes that we're in a place, then we can take a picture, or vice versa, the first few minutes, and then put our devices away, because it really does change the experience when you're only right here. Because how can you be everywhere else if you're right here? So
yes.
Yeah.
When you cherish the evergreen things in life, all the other novel experiences become bigger. Because once you're done with those novel experiences, oh, I'm finally home. A lot of people, they can travel, and then when they come home, they're like, oh wow, it feels so good to be home. It feels so good to be back in my element. Like, it was great to go see another place's element, but now I'm back in mine, and that just feeds their soul.
Yeah. And the simple things in life, I think, is what makes life the most beautiful.
Yes.
And so when you can notice those simple things and find joy and peace and love in those simple things, then it makes the rest, like you said, the rest of your experiences even more special. And
yes.
I think there's a lot to learn, when you're traveling and going to new places, and there's also a lot to learn right where we are too.
Of course. I'm going to get a little more tea. Would you like some more tea?
Yes, please.
Rooibos chai, everyone. Rooibos chai. This is so good.
You want some more sugar?
Please. Thank you. You're going to get some more honey?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. It's so good. I wonder if this is like the just original honey. I saw that they have like infused.
Yes, they have the infused honeys, and then also when we were talking outside picking the tea, the whipped honeys. I think I want to.
Yeah.
The whipped honeys, when I tried them, they were really, really good.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever had whipped honey. I've had infused honeys, but
yeah, I definitely might have to try the infused honeys. Those sound really good.
it's nice. It's like a little bonus.
Yes.
See.
Just
as good as the first cup.
Rooibos chai, just. Something, if me and my family say something, whenever we like make baked goods and stuff, and then we eat them the second day, we're like, it's always better the second day.
It is. Like leftovers too, especially like
Yes.
yeah, Thanksgiving leftovers and
Yeah. I once filled in like a workbook page. It was like it was like learning how to like put together recipes and put together orders of stuff. So it was like name a recipe, and it had to have like 6 ingredients, like give it a name and the ingredients and how to make it and everything. So it was Thanksgiving plate, and there was a bunch of Thanksgiving leftovers all on a plate. I don't know how that's a recipe, but that's what
works.
my like 2nd or 3rd grade self did. So it was very funny.
That's also something that it reminded me of the idea that food and drinks really, but definitely food really holds memory. And so when you have something like, I know for me, when I have some foods like sweet potato pie, something that my dad used to make all the time, and he's passed away since, so it's like something that brings me joy and is nostalgia to even smell it or see it. And I'm like, oh yeah, like food holds so much memory, and I love that.
Yes, definitely. Finally, self-care. There's kind of 2 elements to this question. First, for me personally, I know that self-care is kind of seen as a thing for adults, adults who work all week and then want to offload, get a massage, go get your nails done, stuff like that. But I think that self-care can be something for young kids, for young people too, to take care of themselves. But another facet of it is that most of the pleasures in young people's lives are taken care of by their parents, so they don't really need to worry about the things that are enjoyable for them. So now what it becomes for young people is taking the time to make the good decisions for themselves and do the things that might not always pleasure them in the moment, but that can help them later in the long term. There are even things that my parents might tell me to do that I might not understand fully in the moment, but later when they apply, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then it clicks. And I think for young people, things click all the time. So how can young people take care of themselves early in life?
Oh, I think the first step is really becoming more self-aware. And for young people, this can look like so many different things, just like adults as well, just with little modifications or adaptations. And I think the first thing that I would always recommend for young people getting to know yourself and becoming more self-aware is what I call a body scan. And so a body scan is where you start from your head, and then you go all the way to your toes, and you're just checking in with yourself. So like, am I holding tension in my jaw? Is my jaw clenched right now? Or, how is my chest feeling? Do I have a tight chest, or do I feel like I have open chest? How is my breath? Is my breathing slow and shallow? Or is it deep and slow? Just like going through your whole body. Are my hands sweaty, or are they fine? Are my fists closed, or are they open? Like, how are my shoulders sitting? And just going through your entire body to scanning it, because then when you notice things, like for me, I hold a lot of stress in my jaw. So something that I've been working on is just being more self-aware of that, so that when I do notice it, I can do different practices and habits that allow my body and my system to just relax, and then I no longer hold that. So for children and for young people, I think it's really beneficial to do that. So then they can say, okay, I need to go outside and just shake it off, or I need to go do some yoga or anything like that really helps them connect with their bodies and regulate their systems.
Yeah. I'm actually doing that right now. I think I feel nice and open. I'll take a deep breath. I feel really good now.
Good.
And now we follow that with a sip of tea.
Yes. It's always nice to check in with yourself.
Yes.
What's your go-to method for self-care?
Go-to method for self-care. A nice pedicure or a manicure is always nice. Me and my mom sometimes have like these Saturdays or Sundays where we're like, go out, we'll go shopping, we'll go to the store, and then we'll like go get lunch, and then we'll go get a mani-pedi.
I love that.
Sometimes, and that's fun, but also self-care, taking time. Like yesterday, I would take some time and I just put on my headphones, put some music in, just lay down, close my eyes, and like just listen to some music. Good book, always nice. I love a good book. And I do some stretching every once in a while. I want to make it more consistent, kind of have like a little meditation routine every evening or morning or whatever. But I do some stretching every once in a while, so that helps me to calm. And also just going out on like the patio or the deck and just taking a deep breath outside and breathing in some fresh air. Yeah. That always helps.
I like that a lot. I think that's really important. But more people, there's simple things that you can do, just like open up your window, get some fresh air inside. I love that. Yes.
How can I be like you when I grow up?
You are like me and more already, Bailey. You're so incredible. And I'm so excited that we've made this connection, because I think that more of these conversations, like this generational, like I love what you're doing here with the auntie, because when we have these wisdoms passed down for generation to generation, then it almost levels the playing field for everybody, and that we're all kind of on the same page and moving in the same direction. So we're on that trajectory to become better versions of ourselves.
So what was your personal and professional journey and your roadmap to success?
So I think the biggest element was something that we talked about previously, which is that self-awareness. And really for me, it was coming into alignment with myself. And what that means is really being guided by my heart. And sometimes I think that now in modern society, a lot of people are operating from their prefrontal cortex. So always about thinking, and proving, and all of this, but we kind of forget where our heart is leading us. And I think that the more we can do that, then the more everything will fall into place for us. And so for me, it was really going by what I loved, instead of, like we were talking about before, instead of societal conditioning or familial conditioning of like what my mom or dad thought I should do, or what science thought I should do, or my textbooks thought I should do, and really just governing from my heart.
Yeah. And also, I think really important in, like you said, governing your heart is also peer pressure. You know, everyone is giving you messages. Like you said, your parents, your textbooks, the science, and also your friends. Your friends could be leading you, and your friends could be leading you up, or they could be leading you down. And I think for young people, it can be really hard, because we have this thing where we've kind of separated, and because young people are supposed to be together, and adults are supposed to be together. So young people are kind of in this balance. Even me, you know, I'm kind of hanging, well, I want to be part of the group, but they're going down here. So like, how do I so I have to kind of learn how to wrestle with that, and like say, hey, I have to make a better decision for myself. And then, hey, oh, these people are on the up, I'm going to join them because I'm on the up too.
Yeah.
So yeah, peer pressure is also a big important part of that as well.
I think so. I like what you said about just knowing that, like, right, like being kind of an outsider, stepping back and just being able to compare two different groups of people, and really, again, like you said, from your heart, know what is best for you. And also just this idea of that you'll always meet new people. So I think sometimes when it comes to peer pressure, even as adults, that we kind of fall into that because we're afraid of loneliness, or we're afraid of not belonging. And with that sense of belonging, it can be found in so many different places. And so, yeah, kind of just like thinking outside of the box and knowing that there's more for us, and that the people who are in our current circles aren't the only people on this earth, that there's billions of us, and that we can find our people for sure.
Yes. Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Hearty and Free, HEARTY and Free, or my website, www.heartyandfree.com.
Okay. My mentors are successful and their advice is valuable. Thank you so much, Auntie Simone. This was a wonderful conversation. I had a great time.
Oh, me too. This has been so lovely. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Cheers.
Oh, cheers.